Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. And just say this is just general share advice and not personal advice. And welcome to the Wolf.
Hello.
Wolfie, let's start with IGL because they came out with an announcement today. The markets, I'll just say the markets are fairly stable at the moment, so I won't sort of waste too much time on those stories. But IGL,
Yes.
a dividend play,
Mm-hmm.
unexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's giving 6.5% dividend at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
When we first talked about this company, it was giving quite a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But that's the function of gold price going up.
yeah, it's trending beautifully, right? There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Mm-hmm.
You're thinking now this possibly has got a very exciting business model that could, and I'll say could because it's early days yet, turn this into maybe more of a longer term growth story.
Yeah, from boring as batshit marketing catalogs to exciting, Dave. I mean, what a turnaround and change around. So yeah, look, what basically moves my needle here, right, is this lasso website that you've got on right now. So when you look through today's presentation and updates, they're actually going quite well. They've reiterated the guidance. So I think the guidance gives them about 8% growth. And, when you look at the chart, it actually looks like a growth type company, but we use it as dividends. But maybe it is a growth company when you look at this lasso thing, which they've just launched like 2 months ago, or they've transformed it and launched it 2 months ago, where they've collated all these catalogs they produce for all these retailers out there, where when you and me, Dave, we can go on there and search for whatever we need, right? So from catalogs and promotions in there, all in the one-stop shop type stuff. What a great idea! I mean, it's great because they've got such clout and they're marketing gurus, these guys, right? So if they can make this work, where you get a lot of people coming to this website, and I'll probably get a clip of whatever they do, whether the sales or at least navigation to the shops like Aldi's, the Woolies, the Coles, or whatever. Great. I mean, this could turn into something quite interesting for IGL, and maybe give it a bit more of a growth outlook, more than just a dividend type play. So I'm liking what I'm seeing at the moment, Dave. I know they have to play the cards right. It's only just launched. We're going to have to see how this performs. But you know what? There is something there now that I think maybe, possibly, could be more interesting and getting more exciting by the week. So we probably have to reassess it, because it's still, we're playing this as a dividend play more than anything else. We still have to reassess within 12 months to see how this goes. And I think today's announcement, they're talking about this last week quite extensively. They've got 200,000 unique monthly visitors and so on. So from that point of view, there's already, because this website has been going around for some time, right? All they've done is transform this. They bought it in 2020, I think. So they're transforming it the way they want to, into something a bit more useful, functional, and giving all these retailers out there a big audience, pretty much.
Yeah, no, listen, definitely, Wolf, and these are going to be hard times coming up with inflation. So
Yep.
any website where you can buy things possibly a little bit cheaper than anywhere else, I think will be well appreciated by the general public out there.
Yeah, and the thing is, just one of the things, it's definitely not like a Kogan type stuff. Because then you ask me, is it like a Kogan? No, because they don't stock the stuff.
Yeah.
The retailers stock the stuff. All they do is provide you, I suppose, the view of what you're looking for, and they maybe link you to that website of who's got that product that you're looking for. Or I think they've also provide a link where you can actually buy it through them, but other company sends it. So there's no warehousing costs, but looks, I think there's no, there's none of that stuff, that the risk comes like the Kogan that's got stuck with all these products post-COVID.
No, Wolf, it's interesting, and they've got another 17 retailers coming on board.
Yep.
And they're growing. I suppose it's early days, but like you said, 200,000 people.
Yeah.
A week, is it, visiting?
A month, I think.
A month visiting so far. I'd never heard of it.
No, never am I. This is interesting, isn't it? It's been around for 2006 or something.
Yeah, but they basically overhauled it. They brought it. They spent $4.5 million. They revamped it.
Correct.
And yeah, listen, good luck. I mean, I'm looking here. They've even got laptop deals. So again, that's really interesting. Asus, that's actually my laptop. They're very, very good. So, no, Wolf, there's a lot to like about this, and luggage, and okay, I totally get it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, let's see what happens. This group is also bought Ovato. I think they also talk about that in the presentation, but they haven't included the numbers yet in the guidance. So they bought it on the cheap from administrator. Dave, I think they are playing the cards very well at the moment. We'll see how they go. So,
okay. All right, old chap. It's a profitable company.
Yep.
It's trading 6.5% dividend. Big tick. It's on a P of 15. Company apparently looks to be doing reasonably well in a very tough climate. Would you be buying this right now if you didn't have it?
I would have a nibble on it, and because it's not as if you're buying expensive stuff here. You're buying for the long term, so you can have a little nibble there, and maybe if it gets back to the trend lines, which it does quite often, you can see, right? You have another nibble, but with a view that it's going to grow for that. Let's be conservative and say we'll grow up to that 10% per annum, right? And I think the guidance was 8% when I saw that announcement today. That's reasonable. And if that sort of website takes off with that, Ovato adds a bit more oomph to the profile, to the businesses, then potentially you might have over 10% growth. So I'm liking it, this, Dave. And I think, you're not paying too much for this. You're getting a good dividend deal of it. You've got something to, at least, if you buy it now, you've got already a dividend coming through of 6%.
So precisely. And if it goes back to 227, you just build your position.
Yeah, exactly.
A period of time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Wolf. I absolutely love that idea. Now, POY, which was a Wolfie favorite, but unfortunately, we're out of these when it breaks trend. It's still not a buy because it's not the end of the week, but it has had a big move up on the announcement yesterday.
Yep.
Can you talk us through that announcement, Wolf, and how sort of much you rate the story?
Yeah, look, I still like the story overall, right? So still one of my favorites. Of course, we're not trending this at the moment because it's under the trend lines, and the fact that the tech stocks at the moment are a little bit meh, right? So from that point of view, you're sort of sitting back and see how this navigates over the next 12 months. So today's announcement was mixed reality game development partnership with Meta. They've already got a partnership with Meta. They've pitched successfully to them. We can do more for you. And Meta decided to engage them to design, develop, and create a mixed reality interactive software product to be playable on its Quest suite of virtual reality devices, right? Because Meta's got those goggles and everything else, right? Now, pretty much scant on details. I mean, what does that mean? No idea. Financially, no idea. There's going to be some payments made periodically when they hit the targets. This is all scant in detail. However, they've got this Meta type business that they've just signed up, right? So it will probably mean something to them. So tick, yes, 15% up, yeah, okay, but we just got to wait and see what it actually means financially to them over the next 12, 20, 24 months, because at this stage, no idea.
All right, so listen, it's not a buy. No. The reason being, I just feel that these sort of microcap stories just need to do a lot more above trend before we buy them all.
Oh, not just that. I think overall, Dave, I think they got to give you more details than this. So you can extrapolate and say, okay, this is what the revenues will be over the next 12 months. You can make a bit more of a case of saying, yeah, I'm going to buy just on fundamentals, but there's nothing there.
So we're sort of both agreed, both systems. It fails both systems, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the moment, absolutely.
So technology one, like, hello, baby. I mean, that's when it goes on Einstein's back above trend.
Yep.
There's the easy money. Back, above $13, near record highs.
Yep.
Certainly hold this if you're in it, and you'd be lifting a stop loss maybe under 13. How high can she go, Wolf?
Depending how high investors prepared to pay and give it a multiple, right? It's already a high multiple. On the growth, let me see this. So profit after tax of 88.8 million, so up 22%. Now, lots of good stuff in this, right? Lots of good stuff in this profits, because the ARR was up 43%, profit up 22%. They even gave a special dividend of 2 cents, Dave. So there's a lot to like about this, and think yourself, this is a great business. it's been a great long-term business that they delivered quite a lot over the years. They're moving in the UK. That seems to be going now better than before, or better than of all time. So this is for me, everything's falling into place. They're turning themselves into a software as a service company as well, which has got the predictability of the cash flows. Pretty defensive as well, Dave. I think there's a lot to like about this. The question is, how much are investors prepared to pay for this? The other problem was they didn't give me much guidance, right? To where this, they always said is that we're going, quite well. That we're going to hit our 2026 target of $500 million in revenues. Right? That's like 4 years away, which is nice. And they said, because how we're going at the moment, we're actually very, very happy that we're going to get there, right? Because of today's result, we're going to get there quicker than we think. Or they've said everything today. They've said, tick, 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 tick. Investors are getting happy. That's why they're pushing it up today.
All right.
How much are you prepared to pay for this at the end of the day?
Okay. Well,
what do you do?
Okay, I'll ask you. How much are you prepared to pay for it?
Okay, I will tell you, for growth of 22%, let's say 20% growth, right? Let me see what's it's actually trading on. For an investor like me, I'd probably be prepared to pay for a long-term story, give it a bit of a premium, probably about 30 in the 30s times. So at the moment it's trading on 50, let's say 20% today growth, we'll drop it down to say 40. So it's actually not that far away. So what, it's trading 13, probably next time it comes back to the trend lines, Dave, that's when I'm buying it.
Or around that 11.43.
Yep, correct.
Okay, I'd also say it could go a little bit higher, but I'd be taking profits from a technical point of view.
Okay.
Right. Right now.
Sounds good.
Wolf, let's talk about two stories because we say the charts don't lie, but they did this time. And BAP had a great little breakout.
Yes.
Come on, baby. But there's a few other stories in the same boat, right? So yep. We can maybe put BAP, BKW, in the sort of similar announcements. Inflation, property slowdown, people struggling. The certain companies are really starting to feel the pinch here.
Yeah, I think the physical product sales businesses like your Bapcors, they're definitely feeling the inflationary problems, right? And probably the logistics as well, where they have to get all these products sent in from somewhere. So there's the issue right there. And unfortunately, the charts did lie. I have to say, for the first time for a long time, because they normally don't. It just was a fairly flat to a disappointing update from Bapcor. But you know what? At the end of the day, we'll probably still hold on in a way because people still like the story. So it might just go sideways for a little while, but it's not going to go up, I don't think, on that announcement.
No, and certainly I think if it goes below that 660 by the end of the week, you got to get out.
Yeah. I think the same thing with BKW. Sorry, Dave. Let's just quickly put that on because that's also I gave a short across the bow saying headwinds are strengthening, right? So they've done a pretty good job. I mean, they've done an incredible job, really, when you think about it over a long period of time. Even in a bad market, they've done quite well. However, today's, while they talked about the good stuff, right at the end, they said the headwinds are increasing, be warned, pretty much. So I certainly would not be buying this at the moment, right? I'd be probably at best, if you twist my arm, I'd be holding still for the long term because they've been such a great performer. But I would not be rushing to buy this. I'd be sort of sitting on the sidelines waiting for a better moment to buy this.
Brilliant. Now you got a little GT1 lithium player, some decent hits, and it's not looking too bad. Maybe arguably looking like a hold. Now, Wolfie, you say the charts don't lie, or they did once. But I'll tell you what, with Maya, you say, oh, Dave, don't like Maya. It's up 9%. Why? I'm interested because I agree with you. I agree with you on the fundamentals on the story. And the question I'd like to ask you, is something happening here? Little Maya, down in the doldrums for years and years, suddenly having the breakout of all time. And in a difficult environment where you've got inflation, you would think they would be struggling. Try and give me some logic.
Okay, I will give you some logic, and it all comes back just to the financials. It's cheap and it's got a great dividend yield. That's it. You know, you've got a 12 times PE, dividend yield of 8%. That's grossed up. Christmas coming up, people are looking for presents in Maya, right? It might have a little bit of a spurt. Understandable. You know, there could be also some action. And I know I saw, what's his name? Simon Liu, right? Who's got the a big company that we like, that we follow. I can't remember the name, it just escapes me for the moment, but he's also trying to get a board seat on Maya, right? So there's probably some stuff going on in the background too, Dave, that, you know, control of whatever of the business. Plus, I think, what's his name? Mr. David Teo wants to buy David Jones. So there's that thing as well going on, right?
Well, there's a little bit of
going on,
a little bit of interest in it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No, it's just interesting. And again, some trends I totally ignored yesterday. This WRK had it's just amazing how Einstein's picks out announcements, Wolf. Later in the afternoon, WRK came out with an announcement, and so did that little ARU come up with announcements. So it's interesting, isn't it, how the charts, they did get it wrong with BAP, but man, they get it right with a lot of other stuff, don't they?
Absolutely. Like Dave, I'd probably not, 99%, 99 out of 100, they'll probably get it right.
On that note, Wolf.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much. Absolutely brilliant. I think really that IGL is looking like a nibble. So every time we do these talks, we want to try and come up with something that's going to excite the planet. And I think that...
Look, Dave, at the end of the day, it's not like freaking Microsoft, but I can see some profits here. So I'm going for it. Why not? 12 months. Let's give it 12 months. Let's see what happens.
All right. On that note, thank you very much, Wolfie, and have a wonderful rest of your day, champion.
All right.
All right.
Cheers,
see you, mate. Bye. Bye.